Typically, a whole glacial interglacial cycle in the last 400,000 years has taken about 100,000 years each, so there have been 4 of them. And then before that, they were more frequent. They were every 40,000 years or so, and that's driven by variations in the way the Earth and the Sun's orbit interact. So sometimes on 40,000 year cycles, there's a movement of the Earth relative to the Sun that means parts of the Earth is actually nearer the Sun and then further away on 40,000 year periodicities, and so that drives the 40,000 year ice ages. Typically, a whole glacial interglacial cycle in the last 400,000 years has taken about 100,000 years each, so there have been 4 of them. And then before that, they were more frequent.
Sounds of airplanes and people.
The concentration of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere is now higher than any other time in the last 800,000 years. We know that absolutely for a fact because we can measure the trapped bubbles in the ice, and those trapped bubbles go back 850,000 years. It's an ice core called Dome C. You simply get those bubbles out, you measure the composition of the gases in those bubbles, and you measure how much CO2 there is. So we know that even with these massive swings in climate between glacial and interglacial states, the CO2 has never gone beyond the levels which it is today that we've introduced into the atmosphere. Now, further back in geological time, in the Cretaceous, CO2 levels were much higher than they are today, and it was that was called the greenhouse world. So it was very productive. The plants were growing very fast in tropical type forests. It's when all our coal, it was basically when all the coal was made, because all those forests were decaying all the time in a hot, humid climate. Lots of production of organic matter compressed down under the next layers and compressed down and then down compressed in the ocean. And that made all these coal layers that we're familiar with now. And that was a very, very different world to the one that we're thriving in at the moment. And we're heading off, I mean, we're nowhere near the CO2 levels that were present at that time, but we're heading off very rapidly in geological terms in that direction.